Good evening, Kutztown. I'm Diana Minogue. Coming up in the newscast, a 7-car train derails in Manhattan on Sunday morning, and an accident on Saturday kills Fast and Furious star Paul Walker.
And I'm Jeff DePalma with an update on girls and boys basketball, as well as wrestling and swimming. We also have Casey Montague with your Kutztown weather forecast. Newsbreak begins now.
A 7-car train heading from Manhattan Station in New York City derailed on Sunday morning. At 7:20 a.m., the train hit a sharp curve and swung off the track, plunging the train toward the Hudson and Harlem rivers below. According to the Metro-North Train Company, 63 passengers were injured and 4 were killed in the resulting crash. Of the injured passengers, 11 were reported to be in critical condition. The accident was the third and largest this year for Metro-North, but it was the first fatal incident in the train company's history. While officials suspect that high speeds were a chief factor, the train's operator also claims that the brakes malfunctioned when he tried to slow down for the curve. At this time, the reports are in that the train was traveling at a breakneck speed of 82 miles per hour when it veered off course. The recommended speed for the curve was a mere 30 miles per hour. The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating whether a mechanical glitch or human error is to blame for this disaster. In another highly publicized tragedy, 40-year-old Fast and Furious star Paul Walker died last Saturday in a car crash. Walker and his friend Roger Rodas, who was driving, careened out of control and hit a tree Saturday afternoon in Los Angeles, California. Both were killed on impact. Police say speed was a factor, but are still investigating whether Walker and his friend were drag racing at the time. More news of the death that shocked Hollywood and the world should surface in the coming week. On Monday, the Supreme Court denied an appeal for a lawsuit from Virginia's Liberty University. The Christian institution had challenged the Obamacare mandate because it requires the plan to provide access to contraception. The court's refusal to hear the case means that the university must provide the coverage in accordance with the Affordable Care Act. With impending challenges from Hobby Lobby and other local businesses, we are sure to hear more about how Obamacare fares in its execution. You know, there's been so much controversy surrounding this Obamacare issue since it was implemented.
Indeed it has, but I just feel like that's something that should be expected with a law of this scale.
Definitely. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Mic check. Airing Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 1 p.m.
Be sure to tune in Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. to catch co-hosts Devin Raventoss and Eddie Rishid as they travel around the Berks County and Lehigh Valley area, exploring some great places to visit. Camera One re-airs Wednesdays at 7:30 and Fridays at 12:30. Don't miss it!
You know, for it being December, it's not nearly as cold as I would have expected it to be.
Yes, I totally would have thought we'd have snow by now. Let's head over to Casey Montague to see what's going on in our weather in this coming week.
Thanks, guys. Good evening, Kutztown. Today we had a high of 44 degrees. It was nice and sunny out. Tonight it'll be dropping down to 40 degrees. So if you do plan on going out, be sure to bundle up. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 51 and a low of 44. Now for your 5-day forecast. Wednesday we'll have a high of 51 degrees and a low of 44. Thursday and Friday, as you can see, we will be expecting some rain. On Thursday, we'll have an 80% chance of rain with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 47 degrees. Friday, we'll have a 50% chance of rain with a high of 49 degrees and a low of 31. Saturday, we'll have a high of 39 degrees and a low of 24. And as you can see, for Sunday, we will have snow. There will be a 50% chance with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 31. As you can see, for Wednesday and Thursday, it will be getting a little bit warmer out. But then for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it will be getting colder. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Casey. Former Professor Julius Nyangoro of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill was recently charged with a felony for excessive absences. He supposedly collected over $12,000 for a summer course in 2011, during which he held none of his scheduled class sessions but required only papers instead from his students. The 18 students involved in this scandal were all athletes, leading to an investigation of the athletic department's involvement in bending course requirement rules to ensure their eligibility during game season. The professor himself, who resigned last year in the wake of previous reports of untaught classes, grade tampering, and other fraudulent activities, faces up to 10 months in prison for his actions. As federal belt-tightening continues, the Pentagon deliberates shutting down U.S. commissaries in 2015. The commissaries are supermarkets and grocery stores both in the U.S. and overseas that provide discounts to American veterans and their families, saving them thousands each year. Although it would hurt both military families and job holders to close these stores, officials believe that this move could save the Pentagon millions, alongside other budget cuts going into effect. While no one wants to sacrifice, the government has realized that every department must contribute to reduce our national spending habits. If you're like most students at this time of year, you're starting to stress out over exams, term papers, and end-of-year projects. Kutztown Student Union offers a solution with a pet therapy day next Tuesday, December 10th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the auditorium. The event will feature therapy dogs as well as various other animals from the Peaceable Kingdom Petting Zoo. Its goal is to provide stress relief and a welcome study break for students. Everyone is welcome. You know, I could really use this distraction from my studying this week.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good way to relieve yourself from stress. But another way to relieve yourself from stress is to tune in to KU Sports. So you know what? Coming up next in sports, we'll take a look at KU's men and women's basketball and also swimming and wrestling.
I'm Adam, and I have your 3-minute drill on BTL.
Hey, I'm Kara, and I'll be taking you around campus for student interviews on Outside the Lines.
I'm Alyssa, and I'll be rounding up the latest sporting events on Weekend Update.
Hi, my name is Dylan, and I have your top play of the week on BTL.
Hi, I'm Jared.
And I'm Zoe.
And we're your hosts for halftime.
Hey, I'm Haley.
And I'm Steve.
And we're the hosts of Between the Lines.
Tune in Wednesdays and Thursdays at 7.
And Fridays at noon for all the latest breaking KU sports updates.
And remember, being outside the lines only gets you the scores.
But here at Between the Lines, we get you in the locker room.
Hey everybody, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. And to start things off, Newsbreak's own Steve Majuri has an insight on KU men's basketball team.
The Kutztown University basketball team's 2013 campaign is officially underway, and there are many questions buzzing around the minds of KU Hoops fans. The team is coming off of an injury-plagued 5-23 season where they finished in the basement of their conference. Head coach Bernie Driscoll enters his 14th season at the helm with possibly his youngest team ever. Despite having a squad comprised of 1 senior, 2 sophomores, 10 freshmen, and 2 transfers, Driscoll believes that this unit can compete in the rugged PSAC East.
Well, I think right now there are days where we really look pretty competitive, and there are days where we don't know if it's stuffed or filled with feathers. But I think that'll happen when you have 9 freshmen, but a couple of them have really stepped up and done a real nice job.
The newcomers will be thrust into a big role in their first year in the maroon and gold, and they know there will be some growing pains along the way.
It was hard at first. Getting to know the guys and stuff and getting to know their games is a little different, especially being a point guard role. You got to know what everybody's good at, and you got to put people in the right spots to succeed. And the game's a little faster at college level, so my legs are just getting underneath me right now.
I mean, it's been kind of tough, coming from high school, senior. College game's kind of fast, really fast, so I had to adjust to it, but it's been so good so far.
The team's lone senior will be guard Tyler Brooks, who is coming off his best season as a Golden Bear, as he averaged 11 points, nearly 7 rebounds, and a team-leading 3 assists per game. Despite his demeanor as a pass-first player, Coach Driscoll expects Brooks to be much more aggressive offensively this season and to take a much bigger role as a scorer.
Tyler's really got to change his whole mindset about how he plays the game. For years we asked him to kind of be the facilitator and get the ball moving around to people. And this year he's got to step up and score. And, we're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with that role with each game.
I think all the team looks up to me as a scorer, just to help in different ways also. From losing Micah last year and coming in to a whole new team and having new players, they definitely look up to me to be the #1 scorer.
Brooks may have a larger burden placed on his shoulders as the team's lonely veteran, but Coach Driscoll expects big things from his senior guard. Simply put, quote, it's his year. From Keystone Arena, I'm Steve Majiri reporting for Newsbreak.
With that, the boys basketball team dropped 2 straight games before break, with the first game being against ESU on November 23rd. Kutztown led early in the second half, but ESU would go on a 9-point run. The Warriors continued their strong play throughout the half, resulting in an 83-70 win. Kutztown had 3 double-digit scorers, led by forward Josh Johnson, leading the team with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Warriors guard Wis Grants finished with 27 points, going 10 for 17 from the field, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Kutztown struggled most with ESU's full-court pressure schemes, causing them to have 18 turnovers in this game, and on the 26th, the Golden Bears took on Philadelphia University. Kutztown played tough. However, they eventually lost 85-66. Forward Josh Johnson started the first game of his career, finishing with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and a season-high 4 blocks, earning him the PSAC Freshman Athlete of the Week. Captain Tyler Brooks scored a team and season-high 18 points on 6 of 10 shooting. The Golden Bears are now 1-3 and will look for a win Wednesday at Mansfield University in a conference matchup beginning at 7:30 p.m. The women's basketball team squeaked out of a 59-58 win over East Stroudsburg on November 23rd. Kutztown was down 2 points with only 7 seconds remaining when Jess Harvey would drive through the left side of the lane for the layup as well as picking up the foul. She would come through and drain the free throw to give Kutztown the lead and the win. Alyssa Bonenberger had a last-second steal to seal the win for Kutztown. On Monday, the 25th, the Lady Bears looked to add another win as they faced Liberty University. They would hit a wall, however, and lose the game 72-56. The Golden Bears competed early and led until the Flames would go on a 9-point run, and they did not look back. Jess Harvey and Natalia Lee tried to pull Kutztown back into the game, each scoring 12 points respectively, but they fell short as the team only shot 37.1% from the field. The Golden Bears will return to action Wednesday as they travel to take on Mansfield with a 5:30 tip-off. The wrestling team faced off against University of Pitt Johnstown, winning by the score of 19-13. Up 16-13 going into the final bout, Kutztown's Zayad Haddad would take on the number 8 ranked heavyweight Josh Duplin. Haddad opened with a takedown 19 seconds into the bout to help build a 4-2 lead against Duplin. 2 more takedowns from Haddad increased the lead to 6-3. Haddad then controlled Duplin on the mat, building up the time advantage to secure the 9-3 decision on riding time, giving KU the 19-13 match victory. Kutztown will look to keep things going when they head off to the PSAC Championships on Saturday. The swimming team competed at the Franklin and Marshall Invitational on November 23rd. Washington and Lee won with 1,024 points, followed by Franklin and Marshall in second with 765 points, and then Kutztown finished in third with 522 points while displaying some of the best times of the season throughout the weekend-long meet. Senior Natalie Carr won the 100 breast with a mark of 1 minute, 8.66 seconds in the 200-meter fly. sophomore Jessica Blyler earned the silver with a career best mark of 2 minutes and 12.06 seconds. And lastly, the Kutztown A team finished the 400 free relay in fourth with a time of 3 minutes, 46.10 seconds. If you want to see any more stats and stories, then you can head over to kubears.com.
That's all we have for you tonight, Kutztown. Stay safe, stay warm, and enjoy this holiday with your family and friends.
For Diana, Casey, and the rest of the crew, good night. We're applauding.